Today we will talk about real story that looks like fiction and armed robbery movies. Before we start, put like and don't forget to subscribe. Let's go, baby.
You can see the riding on the pavement. Young kids, they're growing up in basements. Online, a whole new generation. I'ma make mine, so you better go take it.
I'm sure you have watched at least one movie about robberies who enter a bank and take hostages. And one of the most famous movie, Le Casa did. For more than a year, I don't know how to pronounce this name well, but this story is really happening in Germany. The history of the biggest bank robbery in the history of Europe. The genius planner Khalid al-Barazi. 28 years ago, and exactly in 1994, specifically in Syria. Dr. Khalid was about 40 years old at the time, or in his late 30s. Khalid at the time was trying to get out of Syria, to look for a better future, and he didn't like the situation there. He had ideas, ambitions, and goals, like any normal person. And by the way, Khalid has PhD in psychiatry, so he decided that he should to travel and choose Europe. So he prepared himself to travel and told his brothers to go together. So his two brothers decided to travel with him. Khalid thought that when he arrives in Europe, the doors of life will open for him and they will tell him, "Welcome, we are waiting for you." Wait a minute.
Herzlich willkommen.
Sorry?
Herzlich willkommen.
Anyway, this is what she said. When Khalid arrived in Germany, he was surprised by the challenge there and he was looking for a job for a long time. And imagine, this guy has a doctor diploma. Khalid met new friends and all of them they looking for a job and they had no money. One day they were drinking tea and decided they're heading for sin. They started making small robberies, almost small amounts, and they robbed jewelry store. Jewelry store and small amounts, of course small amounts for what they will do later. And one day they are planning a new robbery. Khalid stood up and said, "I don't want to steal anymore." His friend looked at him, were shocked and said, "Are you serious?" He said, "Yes, but I'm thinking for a big robbery and then we retired and live happy life, guys." They asked him, "Khalid, what's your new plan?" He said, "We have to rob a bank." They were all surprised and said, "Impossible. If we get caught, they will kill us in the middle of Berlin." Khalid said, "Don't worry. I know what we are going to do." Khalid and his friends started the planning and training for 18 months. This is proof that it's serious for La Casa de I don't want to say this name again. Taken from Khalid's story. Khalid's plan is, he enters the bank and take hostages and they wait for police to come and they ask for money and helicopter to escape. Maybe now you will say, what's this stupid plan? Why did they ask for money while at the bank? And why did they ask for a helicopter? Easy to catch them. Someone who's planning from 18 months, he knows what to do. Anyway, on the morning of June 27, 1995, Khalid and his two brothers and three Lebanese, that's meaning 3 Syrian and 3 Lebanese, they prepared themselves and their weapons and raided the bank in South Berlin. They entered the bank and they took 16 employees and customers hostage who were inside. They closed the doors of the bank and placed bombs in the entrance and exit. And after all these problems that happened, they opened the bags and they got out. Breakfast! I feel like they are going to party. After 10 minutes, the police arrived at the area. After the alarms ring, all entrances and exits of the bank have been closed. After 15 minutes, the gang released a woman from the hostages with a message. The message is, "We want 70 million Dutch mark and not trying to break into the bank." The police questioned the hostage to find out what's going inside. She said, "I don't know how many people are inside and it's impossible to recognize them because the gang and the hostages wearing same clothes, so that if the police break into the bank, they don't know the difference between gang and hostages. If there is shooting, it will be very difficult for the police." And of course, they want 17 million German marks. The time it's about 3.5 million US dollars. The police agreed and said, "Give us more time to bring the money." And after 30 minutes, police brought the money, but they told again to give us the hostages. Then take the money. Khalid didn't accept and said, that time the press and the television know the story about the bank. The families of the hostages and the German people gathered near the bank and the media pressure became on the police and the German government, news agencies, TV and many people outside. After about 5 hours, the gang forced bank employee to call a news channel and ask on the live, please carry out the gang request or they will kill us. After this call, people sympathized with the hostages and the pressure on the police increased even more. An hour after the call, people heard the voice shooting from the bank and police got confused and the story became more serious and police sent a message and they told them your demands will be implemented. A few minutes later, they sent them the money with completely naked cop. This was the condition of the gang, so that policeman will not have anything with him. 1 year and 6 months of planning. I'm sure they are interested smallest details. The policeman entered the bank and gave them the money and they give him a message. They want a new demand. They want bus and helicopter at 12 a.m. They said they got on the helicopter, they will leave the hostages. The police have no choice and indeed they brought the helicopter and bus and put them on the highway. At 12 a.m. everyone was waiting for the gang to leave the bank and leave the hostages. But no one left the bank. The police waited more than 2 hours but no one came out. Not the hostages or even the gang. At 3 a.m. the bank manager called the police and said if you wanted to break into the bank, this is the best time because we haven't seen the gang for more than 2 hours. Immediately the police broke into the bank, but they were surprised when the gang disappeared. Where'd they go? The hostages were fine and no one touched them. Even there was no sabotage in the bank. There was only bullet in the ceiling to intimidate hostages and police. After investigation, the police found out that reason for asking for the bus and helicopter to get more time because their main goal is to steal gold from one of the bank's secret rooms. The police started searching inside the bank, waiting to know where's the escape from. They found that there was a 170-meter long tunnel under the bank, fully equipped with electricity, ventilation and lighting. The police said the tunnel is literally an artistic miracle. They also discovered that the gang had been digging under the bank for a year and 6 months, and the gang didn't leave any trace of their DNA or fingerprints. Everything was erased and disappeared, and they escaped and stole a lot of gold. The total amount is 70 million Dutch mark they took from the police, and gold worth 200 million Dutch mark. Convert German money to dollars and tell me how much the value in the comments. Also, the German government and police hide some details from the media because they are worried about another attack in the same way. It was also scandal for the police with the mismanagement of the incident, but a week later the police arrested Khalid and his brother. There are several accounts of how they were arrested. There's people who said through a cigarette that the police found in the tunnel, and some people said there's someone from the gang who called the police. But Khalid was sentenced by a court to 13 years and his brother 5 years in prison. As for the Lebanese fugitives, that until now they are fugitives from justice and they have a lot of money and gold. They changed the ID and they live somewhere like the end of the movie. Don't forget to like and tell me in the comment what kind of the stories you prefer. That's all for today. Peace.